press and to the viewers. I'll talk about two things, mostly to do with Kokabel province. I'll talk about the killing of Christine Bunda in Kamkoyo Township in Mufulira. I want to put it clearly that we are saddened by the killing of Christine Bunda, a 15-year-old boy who was shot in Kamkoyo in Mufulira. His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema is on record, and will always be on record, including all of us, condemning the killing of citizens in any circumstance. So I want to say that as government, as minister for the province, what transpired is very regrettable, and we are saddened by the loss of a young boy who was only 15 years old. That death should have been avoided, and the officers or whoever was involved avoided to use live ammunition. I think live ammunition can only be used where it should be the least thing an officer should think of to use. Let me put it this way. It should be a least thing any officer or anyone would think of using, especially to people who are harmless. So as government, we are also saddened for that loss. We sympathize with the family. Our prayers are with the family and the community of Kamkoyo constituency. We regret what transpired, and as Minister for Copper Belt Province, I've asked the wings to investigate thoroughly and tell the nation and all of us exactly what transpired. I also want to put it on record that government through ZNS has taken over the expense of the funeral by providing foodstuffs for the funeral. And we are also willing to provide the coffin and other necessary expenses such as transport until our boy will be put to rest. I want to appeal to the community of Mufulira, Copperbelt at large, that yes, we understand what happened, it was painful, but I want to appeal for calm as we allow the investigative wings to come up with exactly what transpired, and then the next course of action will be taken. But I also want to say that it is sad for other people, especially the opposition, to take advantage of a funeral of this nature and politicize it. We have seen several opposition officials taking advantage of the funeral of this nature and politicize it, calling President Hakainde names and other people names. This is not correct. I think it's about time opposition leaders came to realize that their role is to give checks and balances which won't border on trying to incite the residents to rise against the government. Of late, there's a tendency, especially coming from the opposition leaders, behaving like hyenas. Because hyenas only want to participate where other animals have managed to kill an animal, and then they'll come up and want to participate. It's always important to be focused and to give checks and balances which will make sense and which will build our country so that we can push the living standards of our people to another level. To be waiting for a sad news, bad news. We have had several good news on the Copper Belt, which has happened for the past 2 years. Several good news, which we expected other people, such as the oppositions, who are just waiting for some news which they will use to twist, to paint the image of the government, to paint His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema black. We expected them to acknowledge several good news and several development which has happened on the Copper Belt. We expect them to talk about them. Unlike waiting for something like this funeral of our beloved boy, Christine Wunda, and politicize it so that they gain political mileage out of the funeral, to try and paint President Hakainde Hichilema and this government black. That is not the way we should do politics. Copper Belt residents are very focused and have always tried their best to work side by side with this government, and they are aware of other good things which this government has done. And when it comes to a situation like the one we have in Mufulira today, they know that the government of His Excellency President Hakainde is also saddened by what has transpired. So whatever propaganda will be used so that opposition leaders can gain mileage out of this funeral, I don't think they will achieve what they want to achieve. It's because Copper Belt residents, Copper Belt citizens, they are focused and they understand and they cannot be cheated. I therefore call upon those who want to use propaganda on this funeral to stop. Stop inciting citizens to rise against the government. Stop waiting for small things where you want to jump like hyenas to start painting President Hakainde Hichilema and this government. Zambians know how much this government has done the past 2 years. Zambians know by now and they understand who Hakainde Hichilema, President Hakainde Hichilema is. They know that he's got a special place in his heart for the people of Zambia. Several things has happened on the Copper Belt, which I've been mentioning every time. The development going on when it comes to road networks, rehabilitation of hospitals, the NAPSA issue, and several others which I'll be talking about every now and then. That's the good news. We expected the opposition to acknowledge, not to wait for the funeral. I can describe them that they are Western witches. This is tantamount to witchcraft. How do you wait for the funeral of a young boy like that and then you want to politicize it? I think the agenda will never succeed. I want to salute the people of Mufulira. I want to salute the people of Copper Belt for remaining focused and working side by side with this government. Continue doing that. In situations like this one, where we've lost our boy, in circumstances which are not very clear, we will stand together. As government, we will stand with the family and we will have nothing to hide. We want transparency. Even as they investigate wings, we investigate and tell us what happened. The law should take its course at some point. This government has nothing to hide. Like the killings which we saw in the previous regime where nothing moved. It's not the same as this government. So I want to say that may the soul of our beloved boy, Crispin Wunda, rest in peace. We will stand with the family all the way until we give our boy a befitting send-off. I again want to ask the people of Cobabelt, the people of Mufulira, the people of Kankoyo in particular, to remain calm. Do not be misled by those who want to act as, now they can act as messianic agents for the people of Zambia. You know, their agenda is to try and bring this government down, especially when there are issues like what transpired in Kankoyo. I also want to talk about what we've experienced as a province with the rain for which happened on the 20th. We have disasters that we call disasters in about 6 districts. For example, in Chingola, 25 houses had their roofs blown off. And there's a clinic called Guy Scott Clinic, the roof was also completely blown off. Lusang Orphanage and some shops that their roofs damaged. In Kalulushi, we have some houses in Sokolo Ward which had their roofs damaged. 20 houses in Lulamba Ward had also their roofs blown off, and 1 school and 2 churches. In Masaiti, we have Kalweo Combined School, which also had the roof blown off. In the Kitwe district, in Garaton Township, 7 houses had their roofs blown off also. In Rwansha, we have 3 houses and UCZ Church, which had their roofs damaged. In Rufwanyama, Nkana Combined School had also almost the entire roof blown off, and some few other places where we had the same problem. I want to also sympathize with the victims of those who had their houses damaged because of the rains which we had on the 20th. And we instructed the district commissioners in these respective districts to be on the ground. And I think they have put up a report, and government through disaster management unit will try our best to stand with the families of those who were affected, including institutions like schools and other buildings which were affected. A clinic like Guy Scott Clinic, I think is a sensitive clinic. We will move at a good speed to try and fix this clinic. So in short, government is standing with all those who are affected. We have a president who is caring. I'm sure you've seen a lot of disasters which we've had on the Cobabelt. I can give you an example of the markets which were burnt, both in Ndola and Kitwe. Government came in and had to repair these markets in one or the other, and also we had to offer support to the people who were affected. So in this situation, we'll do the same, and we will be